in February we play North Sydney, so they're going to get some big crowds, good support.
John, you'd be glad these salary cap restrictions haven't come in. I think we counted before something like 13 internationals when you include some Pommies that are coming over, some Kiwis going back home, and Aussies like Greg Alexander are going to be in the side.
Well, we were given one set of rules to start with, and we recruited because of those rules. We knew the rules when we came in, and we went out and we recruited our players, and the plan was always to come up with two squads, one squad of senior players that either had Sydney first grade experience or test experience. That was our first squad of 20 players. Then our second squad was all the good junior Kiwis, all the young guys in New Zealand that are waiting for a chance. So we got in there, we've recruited those squads, and then we thought they might have changed the rules on us. So there was a little bit of panic, but luckily things have come back okay.
So Brandy's coming?
Well, that's a call that he's got to make. He's in his testimonial year at Penrith, and when he's ready to make that decision, he'll make it.
John, you've been involved with some champion sides, Parramatta, Wigan. What are your impressions of Brisbane?
Well, I think the thing about the judiciary that you talked about earlier pretty well sums up my thoughts of Brisbane at the moment. They've in the 80s when I coached at Parramatta, we had some great feuds going. We were feuding with Manly. We were a little bit paranoid about Canterbury Bankstown. I started to keep files on penalties and who was sent off and who was cited, and the best advice that I was given was given by Jack Gibson, and Jack said, look, he said, we're working ourselves into a bit of a lather here. Why don't we just worry about things that we can control? And the Brisbane Broncos, they seem to be paranoid about everybody. And I think you worry. It's hard enough to win a game of rugby league in Sydney. So you've got to be focused, you've got to know what's going on. So my advice would be just stick your head down, worry about the opposition, win a few games, and don't worry about things that are out of your control.
John, obviously one of your biggest problems that you'll experience next year is travel. I mean, it's a long, long way, particularly from Auckland to Perth. I remember speaking to you over in New Zealand last year when the Australians were over there with a test, and you were saying that you were hoping to get the players back the night of a game, back into Auckland. Are you still trying to do that?
Well, that's always been the plan, because the thing that the New Zealand people are going to, the players in New Zealand are going to have to come to grips with is that there's a lot of injured players in the Winfield Cup, and we need to get those injured players back into New Zealand. It'll save us a day with the recovery, and then we'll be flying out maybe 4 or 5 days later. So we want to get them home that night, and then they sleep at home. The time difference is in our favour when we go back. I hope we get in around midnight, and hopefully that's too late for the boys to go out.
John, you haven't spoken to the players about the decision you're making at the moment, I don't think, have you?
No, well, that's not a decision that players make. You know, that's, John, players play and the coaches coach.
Well, what about the reserve graders? You're going to be sending a reserve grade side away every fortnight over to Australia, international trip for reserve graders who are probably, you know, it's not their bread and butter. How's that going to work?
Well, it's going to be tough on the younger players. Like I said, our second grade side will be made up of junior Kiwis, good young players that are in a learning curve, and they need to be with the first grade players. They need to be travelling with them, but financially it's going to be very tough on them because a lot of those kids aren't on very good contracts, and we want everybody to work, so they're going to have to get a bit of time off work. So it'll be tough on the younger players, but hopefully when they develop into first grade players, then the rewards will come.
John, Billy, the international dance for the Kiwis, the haka, I mean, for a spectator point of view, it's a really exciting thing to watch, and a lot of people do like it, but apparently for opposing players it can be quite intimidating. Is that going to be at the start of all of the matches?
The Auckland Warriors, we won't be doing the haka. That's another thing that I haven't discussed with the players, but
I think they'll be happy about that.
It's not going to help us play any better. You know?
You'll be worn out by the time you start.
So I think we'll leave that out.
All right, just one quick one. Mount Smart Stadium is the venue you'll be playing at. Is that coming along all right?
Yeah, we're trying to bring the field a lot closer to the main grandstand. So the seating will come right across the top of the running track, and at the moment it's 130 yards from one sideline to the front row seats to the front row seats, and we're bringing that back to 80 metres. So we want to get all those crazy Kiwi supporters right in on the action.
Can't wait for that one.
So we look forward to it, Kelly. They'll be belting your ear right from the sidelines.
You won't let them take their spears in there, will you, John? No spears in the ground?
No spears.
All right. Well, it's going to be an exciting time, John. I guess you're looking forward to it. Well, I know people out here are, and if some of those Sydney teams think they've got worries with the Brisbane Broncos, I think they're going to have a few problems with those Auckland Warriors too when they come round. Thanks very much for joining us tonight.
Thank you.
Come on, John Monie there. A little bit of a break and more coming up on the Footy Show.
Kevy home in Ipswich with his Street Beat. Next on the Footy Show. Sunday night at the movies.
Why don't you pick on someone your own size?
Two unlikely cons are about to hit the jackpot.
You killed my daddy!
Twice.
Now you really killed him!
The knockout comedy smash Curly Sue.
You have two derelicts in your apartment.
Going from the poorhouse to the penthouse in spectacular fashion.
I must be crazy.
James Belushi and Alison Porter in the feel-good movie Charmer.
Stay as long as you like.
Curly Sue, Sunday, 8:30 on 9.
You know, Mercantile Mutual offers competitive insurance on everything from cars to household and commercial property, as well as some of the country's leading life and disability covers. They have tremendous strength in superannuation, finance and investment. But I reckon it's the award-winning speed and efficiency of their service that's made them so unshakable over the years. So if you're with Mercantile Mutual, rest assured, your future is in good hands.
I know you got a hunger for something brand new. Well, I've got a red-hot tip for you. The cheese is melt, the chicken is crumbs. With lettuce and mayo on a sesame bun, and it's ready. Your chicken cheddar burger is ready. Your chicken cheddar burger is ready at Red Rooster now.
All right, juicy crumb chicken with melted cheese inside. The cheese will really get ya.
Your chicken cheddar burger is ready at Red Rooster now.
Ha, I'm ready.
Look at this. It's Sealy Posturepedic's biggest ever run-out sale, with huge savings on every bed. Hurry to our biggest ever run-out sale, because needless to say, they're going fast.
Warner Brothers Movie World and Coca-Cola present a third birthday Illuminanza Super Show. A fiery clash of the world's greatest superheroes in a laser-light sound and special effects extravaganza. A brilliant day, a spectacular night. Plus, you could win your next birthday party at Warner Brothers Movie World, or even win a private tour of the famous Warner Brothers studios in Hollywood. Be a winner. Join our third birthday Illuminanza Super Show. All for the normal admission price. June 18 to July 10, only at Warner Brothers Movie World.
Studio audience getting their streets cornettos, and also tonight some of those Breaker special Broncos drinkers going out there. Our studio audience tonight, we've got a double bunger here actually, the Mabel Park High School and also the Valley, we've got some people in from the Valley Police Station. I don't know whether they're inmates or whether they're... No, they are policemen, and you'll see them getting their cornettos in brown paper bags over there in the corner. Good on you, fella. By the way, our guest today at the Brisbane City Travel Lodge, I think John Monie's here tonight, so you've got a drinking mate. It's nice, you won't be up the bar on your own. And the guest appearing on the show, dinner for two down there at Daniel's Steakhouse. Well, Kevin, you went on the road this week for your street beat.
Back up dripping, mate, yeah.
Back to Ipswich. Let's see what he came up with Kevin's street beat for the week, asking about Alan Langer and Kieran Walters and their sighting last week.
Listen, what do you reckon about him giving Kerr 2 weeks last night?
I know what I'd do at the mongrels. I'd suspend them for life.
Give them life?
Yeah, too bloody right.
Listen, they give Kerr 2 weeks last night.
Yeah?
I'm pretty dirty about it. What are your thoughts on it?
Well, I reckon... well, I'll tell you something now.
You tell me right now.
Right, I'll tell you something now. What about those others when they did the dirty on the Queensland bloke?
Ian Roberts and that?
Yes.
Yes. And
well,
they got it scot-free.
If it's good for one, it's good for the other.
What about the judiciary?
Judiciary?
Yeah.
Well, what happened? Someone got 2 weeks on it.
Kerr got 2 weeks.
Kerr got 2 weeks.
And Alfie got off.
It's typical Bronco batch, that's all I can say.
You reckon it is?
Yep, we broke every other record and they'll do what they can so we don't keep the trophy at home.
Looks very pleasant down there.
It's great.
What's wrong?
Pump's blocked.
A what?
Pump is blocked.
Oh, pump. I thought you said a bum's blocked. Listen, they gave Kerr 2 weeks last night and Alf got let off. What do you reckon? They're cheating, I reckon, down there.
Yeah, I reckon they are, mate. They're dirty on you blokes.
Why?
Dirty on all of us.
Yeah, why?
Because we've got the cup, mate.
We come from Queensland, we've got the cup.
We've got the cup, mate. They don't like it.
Well, how do we fix the
You
problem,
don't
mate?
like it, Arco, do you?
Good on you, mate. Stick it up and give it to him.
Yeah, mate, I don't like Arco.
Yeah, and I'll tell you what, your, what do you call
Carrot?
it? No, what's that guy that bloody, the ref, I don't reckon he's any good.
Harry,
He's a cheat.
McCallum?
Yeah, he's a cheat.
How you going, buddy? Good. What are you looking for?
Oh, not really, not special.
I thought you were looking for your tooth.
Yes, you're right.
So how do we overcome that?
I don't know at all, really. I said to my husband, I think we should just play up here in Queensland and forget about them
Forget
down
about
there.
them down. That's probably not a bad idea either,
I
Dale.
think so too. They're not fair at all.
Judging by the replay, the hands were in a bit of a crook spot.
Well, up in there, you reckon?
Up in the groin area.
You only do that to yourself, don't you?
Well...
Nearly got you there, mate, didn't I? Hey, pal. Holy dog, look out! He's got a better fan than Monie, that bloke, fair dinkum.
Obviously, they really like out there, some of these. But...
that was my dad walking past the street down there. He seen me and just give me the big brush.
Nazi Walker in my
Your other dad? Yeah. Here's a break, more after that.
Coming up, fantastic Footy Show flashbacks as we look back at the 1967 Kangaroos with John McDonald on the Footy Show.
Tuesday night is nine night. Tuesday night's got to be my fun night. Tuesday night is nine night. Tuesday night's got to be my fun night.
Australia's funniest home videos. The Bob Morrison Show. Married with children. Hair and face.
Tuesday night is nine night. Tuesday night's got to be my fun night. Tuesday night is nine night. When you're into fun.
Come share the best laughs.
Tuesday night's the one.
Who needs a new toga? How about the Just James winter sale? Last one there's a rotten egg. So who's coming? Have you boys ever been to a sale? Hail the Just James winter sale.
You know, Mercantile Mutual offers competitive insurance on everything from cars to household and commercial property, as well as some of the country's leading life and disability covers. They have tremendous strength in superannuation, finance and investment. But I reckon it's the award-winning speed and efficiency of their service that's made them so unshakable over the years. So if you're with Mercantile Mutual, rest assured, your future is in good hands.
After eating, acid starts attacking teeth, increasing the risk of tooth decay. Chewing after a meal stimulates saliva, which helps neutralize acid. So chew Wrigley's Extra as part of your dental routine and help nature fight the acid attack.
Your car's suspension has 28 different points where things can go wrong. Every day, every kilometre. 28 different points where things can go wrong. Only Pedders expertly check all 28 suspension danger points for just $14. The suspension specialists. Pedders.
And welcome back to the Footy Show. As we start looking back with one of our fantastic Footy Show flashbacks, here once again is Steve Haddon.
Thanks very much, Billy. Yes, tonight we wind back the clock to 1967. Australia had won the Ashes in 1966, the year before in Australia. The following year they toured England and France. It was an amazing tour, a sensational tour known as the Bowler Hat Tour, where the Australians' off-field exploits were just as dramatic as their feats as they went on to win the Ashes. Let's have a look at some highlights before we introduce our next guest. The 1967 tour of England and France remains the most controversial of all. Australia beginning its defence of the Ashes with a 16-11 loss at Leeds. Captain Reg Gasnier broke his leg in the match, effectively ending his magnificent career. With Johnny Raper also out, Brisbane front rower Peter Gallagher took over as captain for the second test in London. It was 2-2 at half-time before Great Britain half Tommy Bishop took the bit by the teeth.
He's almost got a try. He's almost got a try. The little fella played it forward. A delighted little chap.
Queensland centre John McDonald figured as one of Australia's best in all 3 tests. Tony Branson sending the great Graham Langlands away for the try that levelled the scores. Johnny King then capitalised on the greasy conditions. Trailing 14-9, Bishop rallied the Chums for one final assault. Watch for Tommy's swipe at Big Ron Coote after the play the ball.
Get out of him. Hey.
Coote's reply, the sealer with time almost up.
Damn it. It's in for it. In the end, it's in. The referee has given a try, and the whistle goes for time, with Australia taking the second test by 17 points to Great Britain 11.
The third test was played in atrocious conditions. The frozen ground rock hard at Swinton and covered in straw. The Aussies had raced to an 11-0 lead early in the second half before the Poms hit back to make it 11-3.
Oh, can he go the length of the field? They're going to chase him. Can he go? Johns is after him. Get it inside. And is it? Well, at least it must be there.
Australia then battled out a rugged second half to secure Ashes supremacy, although Big Noel Kelly was fated to miss the end.
Kelly has been sent. I think it's Kelly. Kelly has been sent off.
Returning from a back injury, Captain Johnny Raper displayed the latest in orthopaedic undergarments. Reg Gasnier also in hand for the victory celebrations.
You didn't believe me, did you?
Some amazing highlights there with the BBC's voice of rugby league, Eddie Waring, who controlled the game during the 60s and 70s. Our special guest tonight featured in all 5 tests on that tour. Indeed, he was one of the top point scorers, one of the legends of the game from the 60s and 70s, and our first ever State of Origin coach as well up here in Queensland. President of the QRL, John McDonald. Make him welcome.
Thanks, Steve.
Mate, just going through my research for that segment, heaps of headlines. I've got to ask you, were they the greatest bunch of lunatics ever to wear the green and gold, or was that all just a media beat-up?
Well, Steve, it's always very difficult when you're on tour. When you're at home, of course, you can visit relatives and what have you. But when you're away on tour for 3.5 months, it becomes fairly difficult to amuse yourself, and obviously some of the guys did get a little bit out of hand.
What about the famous legend of the bowler hat? Illuminate us on that one.
Well, that becomes bigger and better every year, the stories relating to that. But it's always difficult to be in the same spot as everyone. And I know Alan Thompson, for instance, he was kidnapped by the university at Leeds before the first test, and we were away there, so we missed the bowler hat incident, but obviously it did happen.
It did. Good. Now, listen, tell us about some of the great names that you played with. I mean, we heard some of them there. There was Billy Smith, Graham Langlands, Tommy Bishop, some of the great names of rugby league from that era, weren't they?
Well, they were great players. Of course, I had the privilege of playing with them then, but later on playing against them. And on that tour, there were only 5 Queenslanders, and 3 of those came from the Brothers Club in Brisbane. So we always had problems with touring teams because we had a very small number going away to gain that great experience that you have when you play over in England, and as a result, there's only 5 here to come back and dispense all their knowledge.
Now, your dad was actually, I think if my facts are correct, a rugby international. So was it interesting for him? Was he fully supportive of your move to the professional game?
Well, of course, I played junior school football in the 6-stone and 7-7s as it was in those days, and then went to Toowoomba Grammar where I played rugby union, but leaving school I played back with the rugby league group. No, he was always very supportive. In fact, when I switched over to league, so to speak, was when there was no junior rugby union anyway.
So tremendous memories of that tour?
Well, it's always a pleasure when you get selected for Australia anywhere, and to be in a match-winning team is great, but to win a series, of course, as the Test Ashes is something special.
We'll move on to the modern aspects of the game. I'm sure, Belch, you've got a question?
I have. John, Steve mentioned earlier you were the first coach of Queensland, a State of Origin team. Can you give us the inside running as to who's going to be the next coach?
Well, it's an interesting question, of course. We'll be looking at the many aspects of the game. You do cover a lot of the aspects of the games here, and the judiciary was one of them. And as we've got the police group here, reminded me very quickly of what you do for a judiciary is to deal with people who infringe the rules, and you give them a penalty that acts as a deterrent. So if there's a person who doesn't adhere to the rules, they're brought before the judiciary and judged accordingly, and there's a penalty put out. It's the same as coaches looking after their players. If they're not tackling properly or they're not passing the ball properly, they have to do the extra work. What we're about is enjoying the game and getting people who enjoy it, not only the players but the spectators. So the next coach will be determined after many things, and that takes into the consideration the reports from the players, the management, their hype and number of activities they have to be involved with, but that'll come forward in the near future.
Is that the answer you wanted, mate?
Let's have to answer the question there somewhere. I'll watch the tape.
All right, well, John McDonald, thanks very much for joining us here tonight. Would you please thank John as we take you off to a commercial break? Time to look at our Pick the Try competition for tonight, and here's how the breakdown came up. Paul Green, top choice there for Pick the Try, with 70% of the votes coming in for him, and P. Donkin from Hermit Park is the winner there. Good on you. Peter Donkin it is, and he'll be getting off down to... What are you laughing at?
What's wrong with his name, Kevy?
I'm laughing at Billy.
Let's have a look at the results from last week, see how the panel came up with these, and what did we get?
Oh, yes.
Oh, so that gives us a total now of...
66 from 100.
Oh, it's starting to get reasonable. Starting to get reasonable. All right, let's have a look at selections for matches coming up this weekend, and we might start off with you, Durko. Brisbane and Souths.
Well, I think Brisbane can win this one, Bill. It's do or die for them, really. It's backs to the wall, and I think last night's decision could just give the Broncos that bit of hunger that I think they've been lacking.
All right, Badge.
Both sides last start winners here, Norths and Canberra. I think it'll be Bear Stew there. Raiders in a close one.
Bear Stew. What about you, Donna?
Cronulla in this one, Bill. I think they'll do it easily against Easts.
Well, with there, Laurel?
Oh, I got stuck with a beauty, Bill. I'm going to go with my good mate, John Harvey, and go with the Gold Coast.
Right. OK, where do we go to? Mick?
My two former clubs, I've got to go with the Seagulls.
I'll go for Illawarra.
Righto.
And
Badge?
the Doggies in a canter, 3.
Yeah. And finally, Snoz, you've got Penrith and Newcastle.
Yeah, Penrith at home will win.
All righty, we might take it back to the girls over there and see what you can do for someone with a great prize on our wheel.
Yes, it's a girls' footy show wheel tonight. Laurel is spinning the footy show wheel.
It's a bit of a tricky concept, this one, Billy, isn't it?
It's a bit of a girly spin too, by the look of it.
OK, and our winning contestant tonight is Shirley Ryan from Zilmere. And what has Shirley won? She has won the Broncos prize. That's a Broncos supporter pack, which includes a Broncos jersey, Broncos shorts, and a Broncos video. So congratulations to Shirley Ryan. Thanks, Laurel.
Thanks, Donna.
Back to you, Bill.
Thank you, girls. Let's have a look at telecast coming up for this weekend. For tomorrow night, of course, Friday night football. It'll be from ANZ Stadium, the match at 8:30. That's the one between Brisbane and Souths. And then Sunday night at 6:30, it's Penrith and Newcastle from the Penrith Football Stadium. So there are our matches coming up for the weekend. How about this one, Kevy?
Happy 50th, Bill.
Bit worried about the white hair. That's from Peter, Paul and the gang down there at Queensdale Schubert's Patisseries. Thanks very much. We'll see you next Thursday night at 9:30.
With all the tins on it.
This has been another presentation from Nine's Wide World of Sports.
This program was brought to you by